Hi, everybody. I'm Teresa Lisum, coming to you with my amazing guest co-host today, Heidi Drummond. Hi,
Hi.
Heidi. And we're evolving women. I'm evolving. You're evolving. We're all evolving. And we're here to help each other evolve. Our intention here with our episode today and every episode is to fill the world with uplifting messages. Maybe plant some new perspectives, some new seeds, share some tools and some resources, give you some new things to think about and maybe change or shift your mindset. And we're here to give you permission to be your best self and live your best life. So, welcome. We're so glad you're here. So, are you on the verge of retirement and yet a little bit fearful because you don't really understand your finances? You might be afraid of running out of money or how you're going to afford things. Are you coming up to retirement? Are you in retirement and you're still having these financial money concerns? If that's you, you're in the right place because we have Heidi Drummond here, an alternative wealth strategist. Love that title, who helps people understand their money and help them look at alternatives so they're not going to run out of money and make you feel so much better around the whole idea of finances while in retirement or before you even get to retirement. Always good to pre-plan. So Heidi, please share your wealth of knowledge with us. Enlighten us, please, because there's so many questions around finances and retirement. I know that seems to be one of the biggest concerns based on some market research I did not too long ago. And when you go searching for information on retirement, finances is the very first thing that comes up.
That's right. That's right. And I'll tell you, it wasn't too long ago that I was in that situation. I could see the horizon had retirement on it, and I was thinking, "Whoa, where's my money going to come from? Where did my financial advisor tell me to put my money? How am I going to getting?" I just didn't understand any of it, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just decided I was going to sit down and figure it out. So
Mm.
that's what I did. And I just learned a whole bunch of stuff. And I figured there are a bunch of ladies out there that would love to know this information. So that's what I do. I help people figure out where they are, where they want to go, and how to get there.
Oh my God, I love that. Yes, I've heard that from multiple people. We have not been taught about finances all
Correct.
along our schooling, at least where I came from. We were not educated in that, sadly. And then even as adults, it's up to us to teach ourselves, which is fine, but there's just so much lack of information, lack of, we'll say literacy, financial literacy. People don't have the time. We use money all the time, and it's a constant force within our lives, but yet we don't fully understand it, in my opinion.
That's so true. And that's what I am. I'm an educator. I'm not a financial advisor or financial planner or anything. I just help people understand their money because like you said, it's not taught in the schools, and it's a lot of people just do what they think they should do, put their money in a 401k and pay off their mortgage and cross their
Yeah,
fingers that
yeah,
between that and social security they'll be good.
yeah.
And there's so much more that people could do that I didn't understand when I first started delving into this. And so now that I do, that's what I want to share with people. you know One of the
And
biggest questions I get is, when should I take my social security? Well, a lot of
mhm,
people think I'm going to take it as soon as I can, but
mhm,
they don't understand that if you can wait, wait, because the longer you wait, the larger that check becomes.
mhm.
And there's a website you can go to, ssa.gov/my account, and you can look at the chart for yourself. You can see exactly how much you would get if you took it at a certain age, and you can move the button around and change the age, and you can see I think the max age is 70. So, if you're 65 and you can wait till you're 70, you're going to have a lot more in your social security.
Mhm. And thank you for that. That's a great resource for our viewers and our listeners that they can do right off the bat. But what I really love is that you saw what was coming. You realized that you did not have the knowledge base that you needed. And you went out and you found that information and you really became an expert in that and understanding that. And I love that you're willing and wanting to share that with others.
Thank you. Yes. I just can't imagine not knowing this information now. I feel so much better about retiring that,
Mhm.
it takes the stress off. Once you can figure out where your money's coming from and you're going to be okay, you can actually enjoy your
Yeah.
retirement.
Yeah.
No,
Which we all
and
want to do. We all
that's
want
right.
to enjoy it. It's a phase of life where we have all been like trying to get to, and but once we're there, like, okay, now what? Like I can't do what I thought I would be able to do. I know I kind of went into it when I was approaching retirement. It was like blinders. Like I didn't really know. I didn't understand. I had to have somebody help me through it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just the different things that I was being offered as I stepped it through that retirement door from my previous job. And but beyond that, like I to this day I still don't really fully know what I'm doing or where I'm going, or so I have to admit that right up front that I could use your help. And I love that there's somebody available that's not a financial advisor, who's not pushing an agenda or trying to funnel me into something that they're going to reap the benefits of, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. And they serve their purpose, but not all of us want that.
Right. And my job is just to show you all the tools that are available to you and
Mhm.
help you understand them so that you can make the decisions on which ones are best for you.
Right.
Whether you have a financial advisor or not that you want to go to and say, hey, I want to do this. I mean, I've heard people, their financial advisors don't do what they want them to do, and it's kind of
Mhm.
frustrating, so nothing against financial advisors. They are very needed, but
Right.
some of us don't like them. Some of us don't want to work with them. Some of us
Mm.
are afraid of them, so this is
Yeah.
just an option for people to, at least delve in a little, look a little bit, peel back a little bit of the onion and look at some of
Mhm.
those numbers, and let's really see where you are,
And a little
that's,
bit
and
of
that's,
knowledge, a little bit of knowledge is better than nothing. And I think financial advisors probably intimidate us because we know they know more than we do. And whenever there's numbers involved, for me personally, like it's like, oh God, I don't even want to go there with numbers. But and they, yeah, so they're definitely needed, but not for everybody. So
right,
it's
they're not.
good to know that there's somebody like you out there that can give us options and non-traditional, I can say, I don't know if that's a good word, non-traditional options and things that we could do that are not in that traditional way that we just assume is the way everybody should be going.
Right. And just to help you understand some of the traditional ones. A real common thing is people think that, they put their money in their 401k, and they don't realize that they have to pay taxes on it when they take their money out of their 401k.
Mhm.
I don't know. Did you realize that they added 40% to the money supply during COVID? That
Meaning making money,
they
just
printed
printing
out
off
more
money.
money. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I know when
40%
I
more.
first heard that, I was like, I mean, this was even prior to that. I was like shocked, like they can just do that? Like, oh, we need more money. Boom, let's start printing it off.
Exactly, exactly. So everybody's wondering what's with all this inflation. Well, that's what it is. They printed all this extra money. So let me ask you a question. Do you think taxes are going to be higher or lower in the future?
Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna guess they're gonna be higher, but I don't know.
Yeah, higher or a little bit higher or a lot higher?
I would say a lot higher.
Exactly. And so if you've got your money in your 401k, you start taking it out 5, 10 years down the road, you're going to be paying taxes on that money down then
Mm.
it's going to be a lot higher. Right now our tax rates are extremely low compared
Hmm.
to history. And so one of the things I talk to people about is, if you've got a 401k, learn about doing a Roth conversion and getting it into an account that a Roth, you don't pay money on taxes on
Mhm.
the growth, you pay it on the seed money, so there's just a lot of little things that people don't understand about what they've been told to do.
Right. I mean, and Roth, that's a whole nother thing. And if people don't know what you're talking about, that's okay. They can always reach out to you and you will explain it to them in terms that they can understand
Exactly. Yep, I
with
will.
some patience.
Absolutely. It's okay to not know,
Hmm.
and I'm here to help you learn. So,
And not to be shamed at not knowing. That's another thing. Like we're embarrassed, we feel ashamed that we don't know this basic stuff, or we did something with our money that wasn't the best decision. And so there's some shame, and we certainly don't want to be shamed into
no,
what we already have done because of lack of knowledge. So um,
exactly.
it would be very nice to be working with somebody that kind of comes to us and meets us where we are, accepts us, no judgment involved, and patience with us. Have patience with us as we ask question after question. That would be me, like, well, what about this? Well, what about it? Like, I ask all these questions.
And if I don't know the answer to your questions, I can get the answers to your questions.
Mm,
I work with a group of people that are amazingly intelligent when it comes to all this stuff. So there's no question that I couldn't get an answer to.
I love that. So you have like your own group of resources and
Yeah,
experts that you tap into as well.
yeah, yeah.
Love
So,
that. So you already mentioned one thing that a client or your typical client comes to you about it. I'm guessing there's no typical client, but what are maybe another common thread that you seem to see when in the course of all your clientele?
well, I wouldn't say it's common, but unfortunately, a lot of times in a marriage, the husband takes care of the money.
Yes.
So if they get divorced or if the husband passes away, the wife is left not knowing what to do. And again, you're getting back to the fear of not doing it. And so,
Hmm.
that's where I really think it's helpful to just have somebody to talk to before everybody corrals you into the financial advisor's office.
Hmm. Yeah, that whole thing about giving our knowledge and our power around money over to our spouse. And then as women, I've seen this before. They know nothing. They don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And sometimes I've heard they found out it wasn't what they thought, like things were really bad and they didn't know what was going on. And then I can see the scenario, which I'm sure is very common. The spouse dies, you don't even know where that money is. Like, can you access that? Do you know the account numbers? Do you have, like passwords to get in? Do you know who to even go to? Yeah, there's so much involved there.
Yeah. That's
So,
and that's that's a hard thing to deal with. So
what?
if you are in a relationship with somebody else takes care of the money, do yourself a favor and get that information. At least know your accounts and your passwords.
Mm-hmm.
Know which banks you use.
Yeah.
Know where your
Yeah.
insurance policy documents are.
Mm-hmm.
Know where all that stuff is.
Right.
Because
Yeah, it's good to have that conversation when you're not in an emotionally, an emotional space of loss or grief, and you can't think clearly and make those decisions. So,
and
do
we
it
all
in
think it's not
advance
going to
of that.
happen. We all think it's not going to happen to us.
Hmm.
You know, but we buy car insurance, right?
That's
So
true. That is true. So yeah, I saw that play out with other women in my family over the years where they just had no clue and they didn't want to know.
yeah,
And yeah, and then when the spouse passed, like, and I want to just bring this up in terms of parents as well. Like it was a learning process for me and my husband both to approach our parents and get that information that we just spoke about from them, so we knew where to go, what to do once they pass. Like, we didn't even think
Yeah.
about it until, of course, somebody did pass, and then we're like, oh crap, we need to get all this information together in advance.
Yeah.
And it was uncomfortable, but it has to be done.
Yeah, it does. It does. And hopefully people can talk to their parents before any of the memories go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate enough to be able to put things in place and talk to my dad about his accounts, and he was, able to get me on accounts, and I had everything together, which made it really easy. And then me and my husband decided we had to do that for ourselves as well. So we didn't burden our kids with not knowing where to go and where our money was. So but again, nobody teaches you this. It doesn't come with a manual,
Right.
which I wish somebody would write that, like, do this, do that. I mean, maybe there is out there. I've just never,
Yeah,
happened upon it.
there are, but it's the basic stuff. And actually, now that you say that, I'm going to create something so that I can have it available to people.
Yay, that's great.
I do have a financial um eh, review and a budget worksheet that I'm happy to share with people that kind of gives them a place to, because that's one of the things that we talk about is we want to know, you need to know where you are to begin with before we can figure out where you can go. So, this is a great place to capture all that information.
Mhm.
What kind of where is your money? A lot of people, they've had multiple jobs and they've got multiple
Yep.
401ks floating around, and they've got CDs and certificates of
Mhm.
deposit in their drawer.
Mhm.
They don't know what they have. So
Exactly.
I mean, it's not something that you do in a minute, it's something that,
Mhm.
say you take the month of June and you're going to just say, I am just going to take my time and figure this out, gather all my information. A lot of people don't even do budgets. They don't know how much money they have coming in and going out. They just, they, I used to be that way. I just cross my fingers at the end of the month,
Mhm.
but once, and the other good thing is in doing a budget, sitting down and looking at it is you'll go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I spend that much money on stuff that I don't even need. They've got the Hulu and the Netflix and the
Mhm.
Prime and
Mhm.
all this monthly charges that they're getting, and they don't even use that stuff.
That's
You know,
true.
if people are looking to, you know, secure their retirement, they need to really look at what they're spending and stop spending money on stuff you don't need or
Mhm.
use or want, or stuff that you thought you needed and you don't need it anymore. Sell
Right.
it.
Right. And that whole subscription thing, just for people that are not even in that retirement phase, that's good to reassess and look to
Yeah.
see what you are paying on every month. Because like you said, I mean, I've done that myself. I remember last year, there was a couple of things like, oh crap, I didn't know that was still ongoing. Like I just didn't catch it for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just paying attention every once in a while to see what you're no longer using, get rid of it. Cause that's how some of those
And it,
companies.
and it does make sense to review your credit card bills every month,
Hmm.
to see what charges are coming in, not only to make sure nobody's being fraudulent with your
Yeah.
account, but also just to catch those, oh, I forgot all about that thing.
Yeah,
I've been paying
exactly.
them for 10 years and I forgot all about that
Yep,
thing. Yeah.
exactly, man. And when you were talking about taking the time to gather the information, it is a process. It does take time. It does take effort, and it needs to be scheduled or planned, or like you said, set a goal for, I'm going to get it done this month. I want it done by the end of the year. Like, this has to be done, and then put it someplace where it's readily available and easy to get to, and make sure you remember where you put it. That's a whole nother thing. But I mean, and it sounds really simple, but how many of us don't do it because we don't think we have the time, or we're, like you said, it's not going to happen to us. We don't have to worry about it. It's all going to be taken care of. Is it?
Yep. Yep.
So,
It's one way or another, it's going to get taken care of.
mm-hmm,
You're either going to, you know, be in a good place or not a good place, but either way, you're
mm-hmm.
going to get someplace.
Yeah, I remember my grandfather saying he wasn't really concerned about mm, like his um, after whatever, after he passed, what happened after that. He's like, I'm not going to be around anyway. What do I care? Which to me was a really selfish way of approaching it. you
Right.
know I'm not
Yeah.
going to pull things together because I don't care, because I'm going to be dead, so I don't need. But he left all that burden on whoever was taking care of that stuff and tying things up, and
Yeah.
that never seemed right to me. Like, okay, but that's a little selfish.
Yeah. Well,
um,
my mom was she had the foresight. 30 years ago, she bought a funeral package, and
mhm,
when her time came, she lived in Florida and I'm in North Carolina, and we were able to transfer it up here because we had brought her up here at the end.
mhm, mhm,
And the only thing we had to pay for out of pocket was the uh obituary in the newspaper. That was it.
mhm.
She had covered everything else, and that was just such a blessing to the three of us.
Oh, I know. That is a blessing to the remaining family, man. Yeah, I have an aunt who has done that, and we did that for my mom. We had everything was prepared. It was easy peasy. We were able to transfer it, like you said, to a different state. And yeah, it was a beautiful gift to ourselves as well, because we didn't have to worry about it when the time came. It was
Yeah.
already done.
And funerals are expensive.
hmm I'm trying to think if we did that with my mother-in-law or not. Oh, we did. She was part of it because we asked her if it was okay and what did she want done in terms of her, you know, burial or whatever, memorial. So we did ask for her input. I don't think she was real happy with that discussion, but
You gotta have
yes,
it. You
you
gotta
have
have
to
it.
have it. So just, I would tell my sister, we got to pull up our big girl pants and have the uncomfortable conversation. That's just, it's going to happen.
Yep.
You're not going to get out of this world.
Yep. There's only one way out. That's
No,
right.
not going to get out alive. So now I would like to, and we probably, I'm watching the time here, and maybe we could mm, move this conversation into another episode, but I'd like to touch into the whole money mindset. Is that something you'd be interested in exploring?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so why don't we wrap it up for this episode? And
Okay.
then everybody watching, listening, you'll just have to jump into the second episode to hear us talk more about that. So, Heidi, what call to action can we offer our viewers for this episode? What can we suggest that they maybe take some action on?
Well, like I said earlier, if you haven't taken your Social Security already, I would go to the website that I told you about, the
Okay.
www.ssa.gov
Mm-hmm.
slash my account, and check out and see, what your Social Security looks like. And also, start gathering where all your assets are. Try to figure out what it is you really have, and then if you're interested in chatting with me, I can give Teresa the link to my scheduler. I'm in the process of having my website updated, so the links on my website to my scheduler don't work yet, but my current scheduler does work. So if people
Okay.
want to just have a conversation, ask questions.
Yeah, and we will put Heidi's contact information in the description with this video, so you can reach out to her through that information there. So look for our next episode where we'll dive a little bit into money mindset And you were given a couple of great small minor action steps that you can take today or tomorrow. So thank you so much, Heidi. We so appreciate you being here and sharing some information with us. And we'll talk to you in the next episode.
All
Thanks
right.
so
Thanks.
much,
Thanks for
everybody.
having me. All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.